Hello Striders, it's CreepEvee and we are in a very special video, a video that I am both excited and nervous about. Um, I am playing against somebody that you guys are probably familiar with. His name is Dan, and we may be associated with one another. So I didn't want to talk about this video coming up because I didn't know whether it was gonna really come to fruition. Uh, See, me and Dan, we live in vastly different time zones. So it's actually 12:30 a.m. over here on my end. I think we can keep this. I am playing the red-white Exert deck that I've played on the channel before. I decided to go with it because I think that it's probably the most popular deck that I've uploaded on the channel, so decided to go with the fan favorite. So let's start by going Mountain, Bloodlust, and Cider, and pass. This deck has not been adapted since the original video, so this is the exact same video that you guys saw whenever I first played it. But so yeah, Dan and I didn't really know how how it was all gonna work out. Oh no, he's playing Burn. Danny boy, why would you do this to me? Alright, well, let's see if we can figure this out. This is actually going to be tricky. I mean, this deck is fast, but I don't know whether it's mono red fast. We can go ahead, give Herald haste. It gets vigilance, deal 2. And pass. I think that's our best play. Oh yeah, so I didn't know whether it was going to work out or whether it was going to be a good bit in the future. I actually just brought this up with Dan about well, probably just a few days ago, and I just brought it up like, hey, you know, people are pretty excited that you're back. I'm excited that you're back. We should get some games in, because I have never played against Dan actually. So it's exciting, mainly just because we're on at very different times. I think it's actually like probably 6:30 or maybe 5:30 where he is now. I'm trying to remember what the time zones are looking like. So we'll go for Kenra. This is actually starting out really well for us, because now we go target Kenra, and if you guys remember, Kenra can be exerted without actually tapping himself, because he has vigilance right now. So pretty cool interaction between these cards. Blocks there to take the 4. So I'm actually feeling pretty good about this game right now. I think we may have a pretty strong lead on him, Dan, here. But so I'm sorry if I'm a bit scatterbrained. I didn't know that we would be playing tonight, and Dan emailed me. And I was like, well, totally, I want to get a match in. So here we are. I'm nervous because I don't think there's a good outcome for me, because Dan is definitely going to be the fan favorite here. So I could lose, which isn't great, because I want to win, obviously. But if I win, people might just be like angry at me for winning. So I don't know how this is gonna go for me. Chain Lightning. Well, I don't have the mana open to play it. Targets me, cannot throw it back at him. I cannot remember the last time I actually redirected a Chain Lightning. It's been a while, Well, I hate to do this to you, Dan, but we're gonna have to journey to nowhere, that alchemist. And then swing in for 6. This is probably the most fun deck that I've played on the channel. I didn't want to build anything new, because I feel like anything new that I build should have its own video, you know. Hopefully this won't be a one-time thing. I'd definitely like to play some more with Dan. Dan and I's interactions are quite mysterious. I hear from Dan by email, so as far as I know, he could actually be a very very well synthesized robot voice that I've been communicating with. If he pops Herald here, this could be bad. Which, if I were him, I think I would target Herald. Of course, I don't know what's in his hand, but being at 2 cards right now is a pretty rough position for a burn player. What was that he casted? Needle Drop. Okay. Goes for Magma Jet. Scry 2 certainly is not good for me. I'm almost more worried about that than the damage, but obviously I am within lightning bolt range. Oh, I should mention, I don't know whether my video or Dan's will be going up first. We're going to have to figure that out. But we will be uploading both of our perspectives. We were trying to figure out the best way to do this, and we went kind of back and forth on whether we should maybe make the video just one video and try to do like a kind of splice in the other person's hand, what the hand looks like over on the side. Just a couple different ideas that we had. Hopefully this will be a pretty good way. This way you'll get to hear kind of my thoughts and Dan's at the same time, which I think is interesting. Firebrand Archer. Okay. We have gotten to deal with her a little bit in this week's videos, which should be coming out before this. I don't know really what the order is going to be. This is new ground for us here. So we can't swing with both, because then that puts us within serious range of dying. But of course, at this point, anything outside of a needle drop, yeah, because 2 damage and a needle drop, yeah, so a needle drop is still a concern. So we can't, oh, excuse me, we can't swing with both because we're still within range. I was going to say that if he doesn't have anything that would do enough to actually kill us anyway, so I was just kind of on the idea that it wouldn't matter depending on which way it went. I would definitely like to get some white mana going so that I can actually play this Marshalling Cry. We might just cycle it. I think that's actually what we're more likely to do. I don't know, I should have been cycling them already because I'm just sitting on 3 of them is pretty ridiculous at this point. Especially when they have flashback and I could have actually casted it. I feel solid attacking because he has no other cards in hand. We will most likely go for the cycle on the Marshalling Cry. The problem is I've just been sitting on 1 white mana for a while now, that being our biggest concern. Well, let's cycle the Marshalling Cry here. Possibly 2 of them. I almost feel inclined to go for 2 of them. But of course, Lightning Bolt onto the Thermo Alchemist is a quite tempting offer. But I think I want to cycle another Marshalling Cry here. Getting to a Bone Splitter. That's pretty exciting, actually. Bone Splitter onto the Bloodlust Inciter, Lightning Bolt, the Thermo Alchemist. We deal 3. And then Lightning Bolt gets him to 2. Which is a pretty good position to be in. Or no, 1 Lightning Bolt, because the other Lightning Bolt is going to get rid of Thermo Alchemist. So, 1/1. I'm tempted to just go for a Marshalling Cry if he blocks. But I feel like he's definitely going to see through a block. It's 1 to go, 1 to equip. I think that probably is our most efficient way. Well, because it's +2, he kind of is going to be inclined to block. If he doesn't block, we have game, because then we double block. We double Lightning Bolt. Okay, I don't know where my head was at. Probably a little bit confused considering that it's 12:30. Does not declare blockers, which means that we have game. So we did manage to make it through game 1 by the skin of our teeth here. Hate to burn you out when you're playing Burn, Dan, but play for blood, play for blood. I kind of wanted to go like all out with this. Like, I'm a big wrestling fan, so I wanted to do like a WWE style promo on Dan. But in all honesty, probably a pretty goofy thing to do. Just would have been, I think, kind of entertaining. I don't know what we have that is a good side deck option. I don't think he doesn't. If he wants to target down my creatures, I don't feel like I'm that worried about actually blocking them or blocking that damage. I think that what I have in my deck is more valuable than that. This is just going to seem pretty slow, honestly. Journey to Nowhere is good, but it's not. It's fine at 3 because at the end of the day, he's only playing 4 creatures. And the only other thing that he would be playing is like a what are the Marauders with Vanishing? Does not look like he's playing the build that typically plays it. I feel like the burn spell, the Magma Jets are probably fine where they are. I also felt like we could do like a really WWE thing, like if Dillon loses, he's off the channel. If I win, I get the channel. That would end badly for me, most likely. I feel almost positive that it would. But it would have been kind of goofy. You never know. This is a very, like, interesting thing because Dan, like I said, obviously the crowd favorite. People have missed him in his absence. He's back now. And as soon as he comes back, he's now going against the new twerp that's been making videos on the channel. I feel like just from his... Oh no, not Curse of the Pierced Heart. This is going to be annoying to deal with. Well, we have got to get moving. Bright Earth Banneret is going to help us with getting moving for sure. I feel like he might try to emphasize getting some damage output over that. So now we have Neff Crop Entangler, and Herald of Drukmaw in one turn, or Herald of Drukmaw and Ret Crop. Well, that has now been taken away from us by a Searing Blaze. We get a why can I not talk? A Wind-Scarred Crag. And I think I want to play the tap land rather than try to play an untapped land and get the Ret Crop. So let's go red. And we're going to go for both of our Entanglers. Oh, I keep forgetting that I don't have the Banneret out. But getting the Entangler out, because the Entangler is going to do more damage than the Herald is. But if we drop the Herald, it's going to let us exert for free. So we just need to get it actually on board. So put our biggest damage out first. That was a whole lot of words to say that. Just get damage on the board. Do the damage on the board. Two Curse of the Pierced Hearts. I feel like I have at least once or twice described that card as my most hated card in Magic. So we'll put the Herald down. And we'll probably just go ahead and attack first and see if he responds, killing one of them. Because if he wants to bolt the Herald before I enter combat, well, I suppose he would, yeah, he would do it at begin combat so that I wouldn't have a chance to enter combat, because enter combat with the Vigilance already on would be where the problem would lie. So now we get to do the damage as a 3/3. And then we'll go ahead and put another Entangler out. I do really want to build this deck in paper. I think this might be the next deck I build. Lightning Bolt targeting me. Which normally means, if you're playing against Burn, that they have game. If they're looking at a bunch of creatures and they go for you first, they normally have game. Thermo Alchemist, not a great thing. We just played quite a few matches with Thermo Alchemist. Saw how not much of a great thing it is. So we're going to swing our whole board, exerting both of our creatures. Exert with Vigilance, just such a powerful combination. I am kind of digging the new update, putting the, come on Dillon, use your words. Trying to find my words here. They leave the little, markers up top whenever something triggers that already has a skip effect on it. Which I think is pretty good to help you remind, not like a skip effect, but a yield that you've put on the card, just to help you remember what you have yielding and what you don't. I realized that afterwards of what that was. It took me a couple games to realize what the sign was. Is this game? This is looking like game. Yeah, Rift Bolt. That's going to do 3. He's going to get another 1 damage there. It's going to put me to 2, and the 2 curses is going to get me. So, kind of a sour ending there, but of course I do want to go to game 3. So I got to my elite a little bit late, which is unfortunate. I think I want to go down 1 Journey to Nowhere and go up 1 Magma Spray. Well, does Vandal hit? I don't know, it only hits artifacts. I was about to say that'd be a good way to get rid of Curse of the Pierced Heart if it hit enchantments. Yep, Curse the Pierced Heart. I think Mono Red, Burn, and Pauper is my least favorite deck. Which, I don't know whether I made that rant in video form yet. Whether I mentioned it in a video, just how much I hate this deck in Pauper. I just feel like there's more interesting ways to play Burn and Pauper. Like, it's definitely the most efficient way to play Burn and Pauper, but I feel like there's a few, pardon my yawning, it is just too late in the day for me. Or too early in the morning, I guess I should say. But not to say that every deck has to be, you know, this pinnacle of ingenuity. That's definitely, oh man, I played the Herald before I played the Crop Entangler. Rookie mistake there. Probably not like overly consequential, but goes for the damage on me. We need to get our Windscarred Crags. Oh, and kills off my creature. That is unfortunate. I think we will just go for the big boy here. First strike isn't bad. I don't think it's really relevant in this matchup, but the higher damage output is always relevant. I'd really like to draw into our Drukmas. And the Firebrand Archer. Firebrand Archer getting printed as a common just opens up a lot of doors for burn decks. I'm actually going to go straight ahead and pop the Archer, because that is value over time to an extent that I can't even begin to describe. And then we can get an Entangler, and I think we will not exert here. Let's see how this goes. Which one of the many that... Oh no, it didn't burn me. Went for the Forgotten Cave. So the Thermo Alchemist gets the Rift Bolt. So do we Marshalling Cry? I think that is our best play. It's not a great play by any stretch of the imagination. one way or another we're getting good damage in, and he probably will want to get rid of the Thermo Alchemist. Not a definite by any stretch of the imagination, but we get 2 creatures in that we can exert for good damage. Either way, one of them is killing that Thermo Alchemist or getting through and doing massive amounts of damage. We're at least 4 damage if he blocks, and I'd like him to block. Looks like he isn't, but if he's not blocking, that's still a good bit of damage there. Putting him to 8, but obviously he gets to tap Thermo Alchemist here, untap it as he casts Rift Bolt. That's going to put us to 7. Thermo Alchemist is locked and loaded to tap again at that point, so we're basically sitting on 6, and after his draw step he is going to have 2 cards to work with, and we are at 1 card in hand. Chooses to pop our I believe that is the Spearmaster. There we go. Hits me, so what burn spell does he have in hand now? Goes for 3, so I'm assuming, yeah, Rift Bolt targeting me, which scares me because now I'm assuming he has another one. Oh no, just decides to go ahead and get it out of the way. I don't know what I want to do with Crop Entangler here. It's kind of a difficult choice. Exerting it is the only thing to do, but he does have the option to block it, but him blocking it is kind of good because it is a legitimate threat. If that happens, I could flashback the Marshalling Cry, but I'd rather do that if I get into a better position. What am I doing? I'm tapping when I don't need to tap. And in this situation, I would rather get the Minotaur into play. But depending on whether he has a end phase instant speed burn spell in hand, that determines whether or not we're in a position to die. Taps the Thermo Alchemist, which leads me to believe that he is not going to be, well, actually more likely to be doing something on the end phase. So nothing on the end phase. There are definitely ways for him to win now. Does not go for 1 right now. So Minotaur will actually gain Menace here. I can cast Marshalling Cry just because in case there is something that he has going on. I should cast it at instant speed, but it gets kind of tricky and I don't want to mess up doing it incorrectly. But he is not, well, no, he has the same, if it's the same color, right, with Menace. No, it has to be 2 creatures with Menace. So that is going to be game unless he has something to bolt it with. Or no, can he block it? No, he cannot because of Menace. So that looks like it's game unless he has 2 burn spells. If he has a bolt, okay, did not have the bolt. If he did, he could tap, untap, but that is the game, and that was close. We did have a Magma Spray coming up, but I don't believe that helps us out too much. Okay, so that was an old message, I think. Yeah, I think that was an old message between the two of us. But that was a very good game. I enjoyed that game too because it was a bit of a nail biter. was pretty concerned about that one. But just for right now, before I close the video out, I will jump over to the deck so that you guys can take a look at it really quickly. Again, if you guys don't remember how it works, it is a pretty straightforward deck. Where is it? There it is. It's pretty straightforward, but this was great because, and it's weird because I started out getting into this channel by watching Dan's videos. He and I were playing, he was playing Red Green Tron on the channel at the same time I was playing it, and it was just interesting because hitting the gym. Yeah. Alright, so his is going up first then. So have fun, man. But it was just, it's weird for me because, like I said, I started out as just a fan of Dan's videos. I would watch them to get ideas, and he and I talked in the comments a couple of times. So I was really excited when I saw that he was looking for people to make videos for him, and I got in contact with him, and I figured that he would just, you know, wouldn't be interested. And then he let me do the first video that was the Tireless Tribe video, I believe. I think it was Tireless Tribe. But I figured, you know, that I don't think that my videos are great right now, but they definitely have come a long way from that video, I think. And so I was like, you know, this video sucks. He's just going to tell me, you know, to go on about my way, and didn't give me a chance. So I hope that I've lived up to your expectations, Dan, and I'm glad that we got to play. Like I said, it's a weird experience to, you know, look at somebody from a distance and admire their videos, and then to end up being on their channel and playing against them. It's a wild experience. So thank you very much for the videos, Dan. I had and thank you for the opportunity to be a part of the channel and for this game. I really enjoyed it. It was a close match too, so I am glad, and I got to go to game 3, happy about that too, and I got to play this deck that I really enjoy. So just a really good experience. I hate that it had to happen at 1 in the morning for me, but it's happening pretty early in the morning for Dan as well, so we both made our sacrifices. So I hope you guys enjoyed. You know, I don't want to get all emotional at the end of the video, but it is a pretty awesome experience for me. So once again, thank you, and thank you guys, because you guys have been awesome, and, you know, receiving me well and giving me great feedback when I was, you know, and I still am new to the channel. So I definitely appreciate that from you guys. So big hugs all around, and, you know, CreepEvee getting emotional during the end of the video. I'll try to refrain from doing that. But get to the end of the video here. If you guys enjoyed the video, then please, if you don't mind, leaving a like down below, showing your support, and showing the support for the half of the video that Dan will be putting up. Once again, just really does show your support, and as well, if you want to subscribe so that you can see videos, all of my videos, and also the ones from Dan and Nick, everybody else here at Magic Gathering Strat. We do appreciate that very much. And let us know if you'd like to see more games between us. I don't have that much contact with Nick, but I could get into contact with him. I could play against him. I could try to play more games against Dan. I'd love to. So just let me know what you guys think about this kind of style of video, and whether you'd like to see it happen more. I definitely enjoyed it. But leave it down in the comments below if you have any more suggestions for ideas, decks, critiques, all of that. I love to hear from you guys. So all that being said, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.